Hello and welcome to The Hidden Agenda. Today, we'll examine the educational system and any potential conspiracies. Come with us as we look into the possible truths behind the education system conspiracy theories that are going around. So take a seat, grab a pen and paper, and prepare to reconsider how you view education. From ancient Greece to the present day, education has become a cornerstone of human society. Throughout history, education has been transformed to suit the needs of the time. In ancient Greece, education was designed to create democratic citizens, while during the Renaissance, universities were established to satisfy a renewed interest in knowledge. The Industrial Revolution occurred in the decades preceding and following the year 1900. Several of the legendary billionaires made their fortunes through railroads, automobiles, oil, and so on. With the advent of mass production, the assembly line concept became a reality. Prior to the late 1800s, homeschooling or attendance at private institutions were the only options for obtaining an education. The General Education Board was founded in 1902 as a non-governmental body to assist higher education and was principally supported by John D. Rockefeller. He donated around $180 million over his lifetime. The General Education Board was in charge of developing the American public school system if we followed the money. The board's goals were to promote farming, build public high schools in the South, and provide programs for African people. Why was so much money poured into education? What is his driving force? To answer that question, Rockefeller said, "I don't want a nation of thinkers, I want a nation of workers." Rockefeller had Frederick T. Gates as a trusted friend and also a business and personal advisor. Here is a remark from Frederick T. Gates, one of the General Education Board members. "In our dream, we have limitless resources, and the people yield themselves with perfect docility to our molding hand. We shall not search for embryo great artists, painters, musicians, nor lawyers, doctors, preachers, politicians, statesmen, of whom we have an ample supply. The task we set before ourselves is very simple, as well as a very beautiful one: to train these people as we find them to a perfectly ideal life just where they are." So, with the intention of producing a submissive and obedient workforce, Rockefeller utilized his considerable wealth and power to influence the direction of education in the United States. According to the conspiracy theory, Rockefeller tried to advance a particular kind of education that prioritized obedience, conformity, and technical proficiency over critical thinking, creativity, and independent thought. This system only creates modern-day slaves who will spend their entire lives working for the benefit of others while deluding themselves into thinking they are moving up the corporate ladder. Actually, 99% of individuals are not suited for this system that creates slaves. This is absolutely not a system of education. You see, the goal of public education is not to spread knowledge. Instead, it is to bring as many people as possible down to the same safe level, to create a standard citizenry, and to stop people from being different or original. Public education doesn't teach people to think critically or be creative. It doesn't teach how to be emotionally smart. It doesn't encourage the students to solve problems together. It doesn't look for or help people develop their natural skills and abilities. It just provides you with tasks. Early on, we are forced into a compulsory education system that requires kids to attend school for 6 hours every day for the majority of their lives. In order to fit into the particular mold desired by the elite, each child is required to learn the accepted version of reality. Similar to television, programming makes up a sizable portion of the school. Ironically, many historical inhumane acts were carried out by the same families who provided the funding. They are also responsible for the recent increase in transparency in the food, big pharma, big oil, and big pharma sectors. Typically, labels and medications are used to treat children who do not fit into the system and who do not resonate with it. In essence, the goal of education is to mold students' realities. We are taken away from our families very young and placed in an institution where we will be taught how the world functions and what we must do to survive. "Never confuse education with intelligence," said Albert Einstein. Mark Berolin shows in his book The Dumbest Generation how a whole generation of young people is getting dumber because they don't like to read anything important and are addicted to digital crap on social media. In American schools, the athlete and the pretty cheerleader are looked up to as heroes. On the other hand, students who are obviously smart and intellectual are often called nerds, dweebs, dorks, and geeks, and are constantly teased and even attacked by the more popular jocks for showing any intelligence. Even now, our country is still dealing with the effects on the way we teach. People still don't know basic facts even though they were taught in school for many years. We don't remember anything we learned that we can use in our daily lives. You can find a lot of videos where an interviewer talks to random people and asks them simple questions. Most people can't give the right answer. People have no idea how long 10 years is. People believe that the US is a continent. On average, the average student watches TV for 3 to 4 hours a day and reads for 20 minutes a day. People don't bother to remember anything at all now that Google is around. And let's not forget about how competitive the education system makes us. Our education system's naked, intense competition and target obsession are what have pushed so many people into tutoring. More than 20% of kids in the US say they've had a tutor. And tutoring is no longer just for kids who are in trouble, like when they are 11, 16, or 18. Research done now by the government shows that, in some cases, it starts at a very young age. Now that kids as young as 5 are being graded, teachers are telling kids who might have been allowed to develop at their own pace in the past that they're falling behind. The education system has become nothing but a rat race. Parents care more about their kids getting good grades than they do about them understanding what they are learning. This makes things harder for the students. They have lots of work to do and don't have much time to do other things that would help them improve their skills. But they may find that online learning is a good option. There are some things that the people in charge of education need to work on. If you take away the calculator from a new worker's phone, they won't be able to add or subtract. If you take away spell check from their computers, they can't spell correctly. People used to learn these basic skills in one-room schools heated by wood-burning ovens. They also knew a lot more than the graduates of today, like the different parts of the government. Then, why are they even working? The truth is that America needs people who aren't that smart to work there. If you ask anyone in charge of running a business, from a small bakery to a big company, what their biggest problem is, they will say finding good workers with even the most basic education or skills to do any job well. It's time to face the facts. We need to start giving the next generation a good education. Because the more you learn, the more options you'll have. So the real question is, what can we do about it? Our education system might not be fixable in our lifetimes, but the best thing we can do right now is to take charge of our own education. We don't have to depend on what we learn in school. To find out more about something you're interested in, you don't need to spend a lot of money. Also, we need to fix our public schools, get the younger generation to put down their phones and pick up a book, and make this country of workers into a country of thinkers again when it's not too late. And that's a wrap. We hope you liked this video. Please let us know how we can improve the education system. And if you want to see more content like this, be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Thanks for watching.